Hi, in this video tutorial I'm going to show you how to UV unwrap a cube in Blender. So there's a bunch of ways of doing it. There's two main popular ways. The first way is you'll see I've got my cube here on the left, I've got my UV image editor on the right, and the quickest way is that I select the whole cube, I press U to unwrap, and I choose Smart UV Project. When I choose Smart UV Project, I would want to add a little bit of a value here for the island margin. I'm doing 0.06, hit OK, and now I have a little bit of breathing room in between each of these faces. So this is really fast, and I could either now do one of two things. I could either start painting on it live over here in the 3D view, or I could bring it over into Photoshop and start painting or using images there. So you can see the UV unwrapping here. It's very it's automatically done by Blender, and so you don't get a whole lot of choice in the way it unwraps. You can move these UVs around by selecting them and grabbing them, but they're pretty much ready to go. The other way, and this is a little bit more of a popular way, is to do something called marking seams, and that is a little bit more work on your part, but it tells Blender about how you want to unwrap this object. So what I'm going to do is in my 3D view, I'm going to press Z, and that's going to get me to wireframe mode. Then I'm going to press Control Tab and go to Edge mode so I can select edges. And what I'm going to do is, this is sort of the classic way of unwrapping a cube. So I'm going to select these back two edges here. I'm then going to select these two bottom edges. I'm then going to select these two front edges, and I'll go ahead and I'll select this top edge right here. So you can see it goes down, across, up, and across. When I have those selected, I now want to mark these edges as seams. So to mark seams, I'm going to press Control E, and that brings up the Edges menu. And I'm just going to choose Mark Seam right here. You'll notice below it there's Mark Sharp and Clear Sharp. Those are not the same, so just be careful of those. So I'm going to say Mark Seam, and you'll see now, if I deselect, you'll see now the edges that are marked as seams are this kind of reddish orangish color. So now I'll select all, I'll press U to unwrap, and this time I'll just choose Normal Unwrap. And when you do it this way, you get a T shape. This T is upside down, which you could leave it that way, or you could rotate it. You could press R. Some people like to have it rotated, so it actually looks like a T. It's easier for them to paint. It's personal preference, though. And that's pretty much it. You'll see, you'll see that if I go to face mode, you can see what the faces are. So you can see that this face here, and this face here, and this face here, they're these top three faces here. So it does make a little bit more sense if you think about how this object got unwrapped. And if you think of the cardboard box analogy, this would make a lot of sense. And so that works out really well. I think marking seams is a great way to go, and I think it's really necessary when you start getting into more complex models like characters and things like that. So UV Smart Project you can definitely try and use, and I would say do it, and if it looks good, use it. If it doesn't look good and it's not clean and you can't see the UV islands over here the way that you need them to be, and they're not recognizable, then you're going to need to mark seams. So you really need to be able to do both. Okay, so that's it for this video. In my next video, I'm going to take this UV unwrapping here, and I'm going to bring it into Photoshop and show you how to do both hand painting and using images. See you in the next video.